Welcome to this edition of Get to Know the Wayne State Football Program for the 2018 season. I'm Sports Information Director Jeff Weiss, and joined today by Head Coach Paul Winters. Paul, let's talk wide receivers today. Looking down the depth chart, you see names like Darius Roberson, Corey Esther, Rajon Williams-Jackson, Tyler Blazak, and you go on Marcus Bailey, Kyle Lewis, hopefully healthy this year. That's quite a group to start with.
Yeah, you know, we've got some guys who've done some really good things, and we're very, very happy about the group. Start with Corey Esther. You know, he's going to be a senior. He's played a lot of football for us, and as you watched him grow through the seasons, he developed so much each year and improved so much each year that we can't wait for this year. He's going to be a great player for us this year, I think. Big play receiver, made a lot of big plays. You remember the Ferris game with a big catch there, big catch against Tiffin. You know, so he's an outstanding player for us.
Talking about big plays, you got to go with Darius Roberson and his speed.
I know. Darius is probably the fastest kid we've had here since I've been here. He's tremendous speed, and I think he had 6 catches in the first 3 games last year, 6 touchdown catches in the first 3 games last year, and then he was injured shortly after that, and never really came back quite the same. So we need to keep him healthy. You know, he's a Ferrari, and you want to let that Ferrari run a little bit. So very excited about Darius.
As you mentioned, Darius went down, but guys like Rajon Williams-Jackson stepped up towards the end of the year. Tyler Blazak came in and made some nice plays.
Those are 2 guys that really did step up. I think that, you know, with the 2 scat backs we have, you forget about the big buses. Mm-hmm. And Rajon Williams-Jackson, you know, he's a big, strong kid. He had 160 yards, I think, against Northern Michigan, and it was because short catches where he just wasn't tackled. Mm-hmm. And he's a big, strong kid. And Tyler Blazak's the same kind of guy. And Tyler Blazak actually has more speed than you'd think. He really had a great preseason last year. We got to carry that over to the season.
Mm-hmm. Logan Smith, another guy who's pretty versatile, has played both wide receiver and tight end, will be another senior for you.
Right. Logan, you know, that's a big help for us because you can only travel so many people. So you've got a guy who has the ability to play some tight end and the ability to step in at wide receiver, has made some big catches in big games for us.
You've got Kyle Lewis hopefully coming back from injury. Hopefully he'll be able to step in and provide some depth for you.
You know, Kyle Lewis, what a tough kid he is, and what a great kid he is. He's had 2 knee injuries, 2 knee surgeries during his time here, and every time you see him practice, you think, oh my goodness, we got a great one here, and then something happens, and you know, you just kind of cross your fingers that this year is his year that he can actually get on the field and show all that ability, because he's an outstanding young man.
Shane Holler, a young man who's been in the program for a few years, got into some game action last year, along with some other younger guys like Mike Ford, Cameron Ford. But then you have 2 young guys that you recruited and signed, Nolan Kimmy and Stephen Mason. What do you expect from those 2 freshmen?
You know, those 2 guys, ideally, we're not going to force them to play if we have 5 other guys that are really good and are doing the job. But I think the future for Nolan Kimmy and for Steve Mason is that they're going to be 2 of the best receivers in the league. They both are strong, physical, fast athletes. You watch either one. You watch Nolan's tape for 5 minutes and you say, oh my gosh, you know, how'd you get him? He's a guy that is going to be a great one. And Steve Mason's a guy who has so much ability and so much quickness, and he also happens to be a 4-point student. So we're very excited about both those freshmen.
You had one young man, Marcus Bailey, who after football season joined the basketball squad and then came back for spring ball. Obviously a long year for him. What do you expect from him this season?
Well, he came back in spring and did some good things, and Marcus has always, you know, flashed his potential. You talk about a young man with who's 6'4" with a great catch radius. Mm-hmm. We just have to find ways to use that. You look at the group, and the first thing you do is you get enamored with the speed, and then you kind of see his size, and you say, wow, okay, how do I use that? Again, whoever that offense coordinator is, he's got work to do to find a way to use these guys.
Sounds great. Well, thanks again for watching this edition of Get to Know Your Wayne State Football Program.